this game maybe than any other game than you had been, or is it just another game when you're looking at the review of it?
I would say I was pretty hard on myself, but at the same time, like I don't have any experience in college. I haven't played a game since 2019 in high school. Even being from Texas and coming here, it was still it's still I still want to be hard on myself, but I know that like I can't really be too hard on myself yet, just because the inexperience, like getting experience is probably one of the most important things when you're playing football and playing quarterback. I honestly, I hadn't played in 3 years, and I really didn't know like the speed of the game yet. I prepared like every week to play, but since I had never got in the game, I didn't really know what to expect. I was happy with some plays that I made, not as happy with others, but overall, I think I was pretty comfortable back there, and I think that I can still improve every day. I mean, just like everybody else.
What's the hardest thing about not playing in a game for 3 years? What is the hardest part of that coming back then?
I would say the speed of the game, but also just through these years, I came in 2020 through COVID, just staying locked in. Like in 2021, I was a red shirt. I was the third. Well, we were having a competition for the third string spot back then, but it's just staying, being prepared all the time, even if you're probably not going to go in the game. Just being locked in, trying to help out the Chance or Bubba, whoever was in the game at the time. Just trying to be the best teammate that I can, and always knowing that they can come ask me questions and I can help them out throughout the game.
What was last week like from when you found out you were probably going to start and get the starting job, and then getting to the game and then through the game?
Yeah. So I found out on Tuesday that I was going to get the start, and I immediately when they told me, it was during practice, and I was extremely juiced up during our team session. Like I was sailing throws like I'd never done before. And my coaches were like, "What's wrong?" And I was just like, "Nothing's wrong." I was just so I was excited, anxious, nervous, so many emotions just from I haven't played in so long. I didn't really know what to expect, but as the week kind of went on, I got more comfortable. I got in the film study room a lot more, and just tried to have the guys trust me as much as they can, given the circumstances.
You said you were excited and nervous once you found out Tuesday in practice. What was it like actually being on the field for that first series?
Oh.
What was your thought then?
Right before the snap, I kind of just took a deep breath and looked around, and I was like, wow, I'm really here, I'm doing this. But the first, I almost honestly almost dropped the first snap just from being so shaky, and but everybody was there the whole week supporting me, and telling me you got this, I've been preparing for so long, I know the offense, and it was none of that. It was just being calm and trying to stay as calm as possible, just from being inexperienced and it being my first start. But I was really excited. I feel like after the first series, all that kind of went away, and I was kind of just focused on trying to get the win.
And is it different this week now in preparation and just everything? I know it's still early in the week.
I wouldn't say it's different. At the end of the day, like you said, like Hunter said, we're both 0-2. We're working every single day. We can't look at next week or the week after, regardless of Lincoln's program. I know they're coming. They're probably looking at us like this is the game for them to win. So you can't really prepare any differently. But I would say just having a game of experience has me a little more comfortable during practice, and the guys kind of trust me a little bit more now that they've seen me play, and just kind of still getting comfortable, but definitely way more comfortable than last week.
When you're talking about getting more comfortable with what? With the actual handoffs, with the passes, with the routes, or is it just with actually being the person who is giving more signals and taking more.
Right. It's just one of those situations where, I don't know if you guys know, but Chance and me went to the same high school. Like, we're family friends, and since I've been here, everybody's looked at him as the leader of the team, like the guy, and so like to switch over so suddenly in like almost a must-win situation, it's just there's just a lot of question marks for the guys to look at me as a leader. Like, I always wanted to be their leader, but I didn't want to jump in and like try to tell somebody what to do, or like I still needed them to like help me out. I was trying to help them out as well. And so just trying to be comfortable in the game, but also just like talking to guys, talking to my coaches. With the OC, like, we've never been in a game together, so like the communication there, like, it's just going to be a learning curve. Like, we're just trying to get on the same page as much as we can, and just overall just being comfortable. Like, it's hard to explain, but just being a quarterback of a college football team, like, there's just a lot of stuff that kind of goes through your head, and like through the game, through practice, film study, just all of that, like just trying to like just get used to everything again. So that's probably what.
Did Chance coming here earlier influence your decision at all? And if so, how?
You're talking about out of like high school coming here? Yeah, it did. I honestly, the only reason that I'm not gonna say it's the only reason that I came here, but I just came. He's a family friend of mine. We go on family vacations together. His little brother's my best friend. Our parents are really close, so it was really, really easy. It was really easy to come here and know other people that have been here from my high school, because there's a couple more that have came through from Lamar. But I just came up to see Chance and like come to the camp in the summer of going into my senior year, and Coach Brown didn't know nobody knew who I was, but I just came to the camp and I threw, and he offered me, and the thing that really got me to come here was Coach Zoda, the quarterback coach, and Coach Brown. They actually came down to my house in Texas and came and talked to me and my family, and so that it was one of those things where it's like maybe you can go somewhere else, but like you might just be another guy. But I really felt like Coach Brown and Coach Zoda and the whole staff really wanted me, and they made my family feel that like this is the place for me. So that was more of it. Obviously, Chance was a big influence in that, but I would just say Coach Brown is a really, really good dude, and he came down, and nobody else did that for me. Nobody came to my house and talked to me. So that's when I knew that this was the place for me.
What other offers did you consider?
I had an offer from Illinois State, and it kind of fell through. They had a dude that committed there, and I was actually, after my junior season, I was kind of considering not playing, and then I had got an offer from Henderson State, and that kind of got me back into things. So I went and visited there, but actually when I got there, they said that another quarterback had committed, so they couldn't give me a scholarship. So honestly, like, this was really my only option coming out if I wanted a scholarship. I mean, I obviously could have walked on somewhere, but really after Coach Brown came and visited me, like, I was just like, this is where I'm going. Even if I didn't commit right then, I knew where I was going to go.
We see in your bio you set records when you were in high school for passing. We even received a message this week about where you kind of rank in the state of Texas history. Talk about quarterbacking a 6A school, right?
Yes, sir.
6A school in Texas where football is higher than the king.
Yeah. It was really, really cool. Chance was a senior in high school when I was a freshman, so I was on the freshman team. And then whenever he left, there wasn't really a sophomore or junior that was going to come in and play yet. And they kind of took a chance on me my sophomore year, and I kind of just ran with it. I never missed a start for 3 years. We had a really, really, really good coaching staff that came in. The dude before Chance was Shane Buechele. I don't know if you guys know but he's on the Chiefs now. So it was really cool to, he had all the records before me, and to break those, it was really, really cool to be able to do that, considering I was watching Shane when I was in 6th, 7th grade, and like, man, I really want to do that, and to be able to go in there and like break his records was really, really awesome.
Is it like the movies, or is it Hollywooded up and it's nothing like the movies when you're playing Texas football?
I wouldn't. I mean, it is a really, really big thing. I mean, there's not much bigger than high school football in Texas, but it's just there's such a focus on it. When I got here, there's a lot of great players that come from Texas, but like coming to a new place and not really knowing like how it was going to be. Still here, like when I got in the game, like the fans were way louder than I've been. I mean, I've been in some really big venues in Texas, but like just like the love and haze and like, you know, the small town vibe of like everybody's going to the game and like everybody supports the team, and you see jerseys in all the restaurants. I think there was a lot more energy in our stadium than I think I've played in Texas, but I mean, it's still crazy in Texas. Like at every game, our bleachers are massive, and at every venue you go to. So, I'll just say like it can be like the movies, but not necessarily every game is going to be like that. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to play Texas football.
What do you consider your strengths as a quarterback, and also areas you think you need to work on?
The areas I need to work on would definitely be my quick game and getting the ball out of my hands as quick as I can. I have smaller hands, and I'm a smaller guy, so you know, getting a grip on the ball and just getting it out as quick as I can, and then screen games. And then I'd say my strengths would just be like my awareness in the pocket. Sometimes I tend to get like happy feet. You know, it was my first start, but you know, I get happy feet and kind of want to go make a play instead of letting the play like kind of come to me. So that would be something that kind of I need to balance with each other. You know, I feel like I'm wanting to make people miss in the pocket, but sometimes I'm getting out of the pocket way too fast, and there's no reason for me to. So I think just trying to balance being a pocket passer along with being a playmaker would in turn make me a way better player. And so I think just improving every day on, you know, being calm in the pocket, and then whenever there actually is a pressure or you know, a D lineman coming at me, getting out of there, making a play or with my feet, making a play with my arm, or you know, just throwing the ball away and not having any negativity come from it.
Being a shorter quarterback at I think about 5'11", is that
On a good day.
in your cleats?
Yeah.
Is that tough to find passing lanes, or is that accurate or not accurate, just to find the lanes to throw through?
You know, I couldn't really tell you because like I've never been 6'4" and being able to throw over the line. But I mean, like when Coach Zoda came and talked to me, he was like, because obviously being a short quarterback is something that, you know, people will have, they're against it essentially. But he was just like, you know, I played in high school. I played pretty well in high school for 3 years as a short quarterback. So I mean, like, there's nothing that changed. I mean, there are some. I mean, we have a massive O-line, but you know, it's just I've done it. Like I've been doing it since I was in 6th grade, 7th grade. You know, and I think it's just the way I play. Like having to find those lanes is not necessarily hard, but like there are some times where like you just have to trust that your receiver is going to be in the right spot at the right time, and you know, sometimes you can't see your receiver, but you just have to trust that he's going to be there. But then again, like I've never been 6'2" or 6'3", so like I don't really know about seeing over anybody anyways. So it goes hand in hand. I mean, I'm sure it's a little bit difficult. It is difficult sometimes, but I mean, I don't think it's not like an issue, I would say.
In your first game, you threw for 243 yards, whatever it was. As it's your first career game, like, is that a key takeaway that, hey, you know, this first game I threw for this much? Like, what do you get a takeaway out of that, just that one stat line?
It really doesn't mean all that much to me. You know, obviously it's a cool stat, but like the only stat that I'm trying to get is a win. Like I'm for the team. You know, I think everybody is bought in. There's just some things that we need to fix. Mentally, you know, we've had some plays where we're only playing with 9 or 10 dudes. But I think Coach Bryant, you know, helped me in that game trying to, you know, run the ball as much as he can to set up the shot plays, set up those big completions. And, you know, we were able to drive the ball. It's just, you know, we'd have a penalty or we'd have you know, I threw an interception in the end zone. You know, just eliminating that, we have the talent, and we just need to figure out how to put it all together, and we kind of need to do it pretty quickly. But with the stats, I mean, they're just stats at the end of the day. Like, if I threw for 100 yards and we got the win, that's a way better game to me than 243 yards and a loss, you know.
You talk about your offensive line, and Coach has brought this up the last 2 weeks. You know, week 1 you get 13 rushing yards. Last week it seemed like the offensive line didn't have a push at some points in the game. As a quarterback that's new, what do you have to worry about with your offensive line if the pocket collapses or, you know, they're not getting the push that you need?
You know, for it being my first start, you know, I wasn't trying to think too much. I wasn't trying to overcomplicate things. You know, I was kind of letting my coaches do that for me. You know, I wasn't trying to like check any protections or check any different plays. You know, he called the play, I would run the play. You know, I have a read on each play or a pre-snap read. But if the pocket collapses, like I tried to be a football player out there. You know, I wasn't trying to do too much, do too little. You know, I was kind of just going off of my film preparation, and then my you know, just my football playing ability, I guess. You know, just from not playing in so long, you can't overcomplicate things on yourself. You know, if the pocket collapses, you know, like I said, I was sometimes getting out of there too early. But there was times where, like, it collapsed, and then you just kind of have to make somebody miss. It's just kind of part of the game, you know. You know, the O-line's helping me every single play, and, you know, if they miss one dude, like, I feel like I can help them out, you know. I'm not blaming anybody, or, you know, we're all still a team. If it collapses, it collapses. You know, you just have to make a play.